You know, it's no secret that Joe Biden hates Donald Trump with a passion, but he hates you too. Why do I say that? Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Dr. Ken Henry, and this is Conservative Commentary, where we spread the MAGA message. Before we jump in, I'd like to ask you for a favor, if you don't mind. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This really does help us grow the channel and get the message out. Also, go over to youtube.com/@themagamessage and check out our other videos. Well, Joe Biden, as we all know, hates Donald Trump with a passion. But he hates the American people even more. Why do I say that? Well, in the last few days, and as has one foot out the door, Biden has done more to harm the American people and make their lives more miserable. How? Well, let's take a look at what he's done. I call it the Biden trifecta. First, he attempted to and did sell some of the border wall at bargain basement prices for pennies on the dollar until the courts interceded and stopped him. But why would he do that? He hates Donald Trump, and he wants Trump to have to buy the wall again that was already paid for with your money, to buy it again at a much higher price. And then he can sit back and laugh behind his hand. He knows Trump's going to build that border wall, and so he's doing everything he can to throw up a roadblock. He hates you because you voted and said that border is the number one issue, and we want it fixed. Well, what else has he done? Well, number two of the trifecta, he has signed a ban on gas water heaters. Now, I have a gas water heater. I'm in my basement studio, and just in the room adjacent to me, there's a gas water heater. And I will always have a gas water heater. It's just more efficient. The water gets hot quicker. We don't run out of hot water. You don't have to worry about heating elements going out. All of those things. But Biden says, oh, but the carbon footprint, the carbon emissions, the Green New Deal, the Green New scam. Well, who's going to be affected most about this? Me, because there are going to be some gas water heaters available. They're just going to be double the price. No, not me. It won't affect me. But where there are a lot of smaller gas water heaters are in apartment buildings. And those residential facilities that many people of lower income, where they live. So they're going to be impacted by this stupid, nonsensical executive order that won't change a darn thing. That's the problem with all this. It's all smoke and mirrors and lies. You know, we can do everything the Green New scam wants to do to reduce carbon emissions, and it won't make a dime's worth of difference in this world because of India and China and Russia and other countries. Until they make a difference, we can't stop it. It's just stupid. And perhaps in the most cynical move that this old goat has made as he goes out the door, bitter from his defeat, and doubly bitter that Donald Trump was reelected, he has now signed an executive order banning oil and gas exploration and drilling on 625 million acres of potential underwater sites. Why would he do that? Well, it's just not worth the risk. But here's the truth of the matter. The area where this fool has done this carve out is there's no real plans for exploration there anyway. It's symbolic, but nonetheless, there's the potential there that there's real oil and gas reserves, and so he's carved this out, just gone completely stupid. So President Trump says that he will unban the banned areas, but the problem is that the way that the statute reads, where Biden found his power to do this, makes it more difficult, it appears, to unban the ban. And it may well take an act of Congress to get it done. He hates you. He hates Donald Trump, but he hates you too. Why? Well, he knows that this is the cost of energy, drill baby drill. The cost of energy is directly tied to the economy, and it's directly tied to your bottom line as a household. He doesn't care. It's all about him. I'm going to show that SOB. I'm going to stick it to him. Screw the American people. I don't need them anymore anyway. I don't even have to lie to them anymore. Goodbye, Mr. President, and good riddance. Take a look at this clip from Fox News and please share your thoughts in the comments.
President Biden just announced a sweeping ban on oil and gas drilling across over 600 million acres of federal waters, which would be difficult for President-elect Trump to reverse.
The president writes, "My decision reflects what coastal communities, businesses, and beachgoers have known for a long time, that drilling off these coasts could cause irreversible damage to places we hold dear and is unnecessary to meet our nation's energy needs. It is not worth the risks."
Taylor Riggs is the co-host of the Big Money Show on Fox Business, and she joins us now. Taylor, good morning to you. So the statement Todd should have read should have just said that this is intended to be a legacy move by me, and this is how he wants the climate change people to remember him by. But what will the impact of this be?
You know, so unclear in terms of oil and gas drilling. He wants to ban it on the east part of the Gulf Coast, and really the big money that Trump's looking at in terms of leasing and oil drilling is central to west. So unclear about the actual impact. But I think to me, this comes down to the principle of it. We had an election 2 months ago on this issue. Prices are too high. We need to drill. We need to bring down energy costs. That is exactly what everyone voted on. And 2 months later, he still decides to make his legacy, maybe not climate change. I think legacy is high prices for everyone, because this is what this happens. My other point is we have the cleanest oil and gas. When we don't produce, we're buying from Russia and Venezuela. Their oil burns way dirtier than ours does. And the great Jimmy Fallon once told me, when you pee in the swimming pool, we're all in the pool. So when we are breathing the same air, we're all in it. There's nothing that the U.S. can do at this point if China, India, Russia, Venezuela don't get on board. If they're not on board, we've done our part. So it's really sort of principle at this point.
It's the credo I live by. The one that you just said. It's going to be on my tombstone.
Taylor, what a memorable quote.
This is described as permanent. Why is it described as permanent? Why can't Donald Trump, when he comes into office, reverse this like he's going to reverse all the other Joe Biden policies?
Yeah, this goes back 100 years ago to federal law that I don't know, that you probably know better than I do. Courts have been unwilling at this point to totally reverse things like this. You could maybe tweak it on the margin, but it goes back to about, again, law, how agencies interact. So I think it's harder to Trump to come in and do a full reversal, but we'll see. He certainly will fight to bring energy prices down.
When you say that, I think Supreme Court, I think they're going to attack the Chevron doctrine, because it was just attacked and really undone a lot of it by this Supreme Court.
Rooted in a 72-year-old provision of federal law that gives presidents broad discretion to withdraw U.S. waters from oil leasing without explicitly authorizing revocations. A wordy way of saying not as simple as one president does it, another president can reverse it. So the Biden administration is also banning certain natural gas water heaters from the market as part of his climate change agenda once again. And this is a move that critics are saying would really jack up energy costs for low-income and senior households. What should we know about this?
All of this attacks the low income. I mean, we know this. Remember when they tried to build 7 EV chargers for billions and billions of dollars? This is what happens when federal government gets in the way. I come to you guys as that free market capitalist, right? Get out of the way and let the market work. If consumers are telling you, I care about the environment, I'm worried about my water heater, my choice will dictate then what the market tells me about the water heater. I don't need the government to come in, place these artificial bans, which then means, by the way, the type of natural heater that they, water cooler that they want to do is for the tiny apartments. Guess who lives there?
Yeah.
Low income poor people. I mean, we're all in tiny apartments, right? Like middle class. That's who it's hurting. So again, the legacy has been a government intervention to increase costs and not let the market do the work for it.
Yeah, and the ones that are going to be going away by, I believe, 2029, $1,000, the ones that are going to be allowed to continue being sold, almost double the price.
$1,800, yeah.
And at the extremes, only 13% less energy is utilized. Is this
Right.
worth it? Methinks not.
Not when China and India aren't doing their part.